Very good evening, everyone. Mathematics is considered a scary subject. And we know JEE Advanced is just around the corner. We have to learn different ways to overcome the fear of digits, right? We should practice mathematics rigorously because it cannot be memorized, right? So we need right strategy to work smart. I'm Shilpa and I welcome you to Shiksha webinar on how to prepare mathematics for JEE Advanced exam. Please welcome our expert for the session, Mr. Vaibhav Bajpai, author of the book, Accelerator of IIT-JEE Advanced Mathematics, and you are founder and managing head at Cubic Online. I welcome you, Mr. Bajpai.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
To the students, feel free to send your questions to me through Q&A box or in the chat box. And even after the webinar, you can write your queries on this portal. Okay, let me show you where exactly. You can have a look at it. Though the students have already asked several questions here, which I'm going to ask sir during the session. So similarly, even you can share your questions here and our subject experts or even sir can reply there. Okay. Coming back to you, sir, without wasting any more time, we want to know all about JEE Advanced Mathematics. So please guide us.
Yeah, Shilpa, actually, mathematics is very interesting subject for JEE Advanced, and even if we see the JEE Advanced paper, so every year paper is very unpredicted. We don't know what is going to come and which type of questions will come. So this is very general question. So I would like to share something related to it. I would like to congratulate to all successful students in JEE Mains. And JEE Mains selection for JEE Advance is very prestigious exam in the world, and this is third toughest exam in the world. So in this webinar, I am going to discuss all about JEE Advanced exam, paper and pattern, and how to attempt mathematics paper. Then we'll discuss about important topics, and then book and study materials. Then what should we should do in last minute preparation, and then we'll discuss improving performance and problem solving skills. Then how to manage time in mathematics paper, and then in the last we'll discuss about branch and colleges selections. So first of all, most of the students think that JEE Advanced is difficult exam, and they have fear about it, and they don't prepare for it. And this is just a myth. JEE Advanced is not much difficult exam. This exam is just based on the strategy and planning. If you have proper strategy, proper planning, and you can execute that, then you can crack that exam. So this exam is very crackable exam. So I am showing you this statistic that if you see 2020, 2021, and 2022, there are like every year 2.67, 2.6 lakh student, they get eligibility for JEE Advance. And out of those, only 1.6 lakh students register for it. And approximately 1.5, yeah, 1.35 student, 35 lakh student, they write the exam. So if you see this percentage ratio, so barely 1.5 lakh students, yeah, 1.35 lakh students, they are your competitor. And IIT-JEE Advanced declares 42,000 to 45,000 rank in common merit list. So it means the competition is one third. So one third means if you really prepare for JEE Advanced exam, so competition is not much as compared to JEE Mains, because JEE Mains approximately 10 lakh student appear, and the competition percentage is very high as compared to JEE Advanced. So for JEE Advanced, you need a proper planning, and if you have a proper planning and if you have proper strategy, so you can crack the exam. And my strong request to those students, those who got the rank in JEE Mains and they got eligibility rank in for JEE Advanced, they should appear for it. And this JEE Advanced rank matters a lot in your resume when you do for go for interview, when you go for UPSC interview, when you go for MBA CAT interview, that matters a lot. So I think everyone, those who are eligible for JEE Advanced, must appear for JEE Advanced. And also, the important point is, if we see how to get a selection and how to get rank in JEE Advanced. So this is also have some proper statistic. Like if you have paper 100% paper, and out of 100%, if you are scoring 17.5% in general category, or 16% in OBC, or 9% in SC/ST category, so easily you can get the JEE rank. And if you are getting JEE rank till 40,000, so you can add that rank in resume, and it means you fall top 1% intelligent category student of the nation, and that matters a lot. So apart from this, I'm going to discuss you the paper strategy, and will tell you how to appear mathematics, uh, how to uh, how to perform in mathematics, and more about it. So as you know that JEE Advanced paper is very unpredictable, and there are two papers in these two papers will be conducted on same day, and we don't know what is the pattern. It may be like passage type of questions, it may be single correct questions, it may be integer type of questions, it may be matching type of questions. We don't know what is the pattern of the JEE Advanced paper. And also, if we see last 5 to 6 years papers, so generally they ask 42 or 45 questions in paper 1, and similar they ask questions in paper 2. Number of questions, they are roughly fixed, like you may get 42 questions or 45 questions. Now, then if everything is uncertain, then how to prepare for the exam? You can ask one question, sir, you are saying the exam is very simple, and exam is JEE Advanced is not tough, and most of the things are uncertain. Then what is the idea, and how we start to preparing for it? So I'm telling you, there are few things which are very common, and this is my research about last 15 to 20 years of papers. Like few things are very common in JEE Advanced paper. The first one is deep theory understanding. If you see the JEE Advanced paper, you will get few questions which are based on the deep understanding of theory. They just check how much do you know about the theory of the topic. So they give few questions which are based on the theory. And the second one is analytical ability. And analytical ability is very important, because sometimes they give very difficult question, and you like that subject कि नहीं मेरा integral बहुत अच्छा है, मैं integral का ही question करूँगा, but you waste so much time for that difficult question, and you lose the marks also. So in exam, it is very important that in especially JEE Advanced exam, it is very important that if which question you should do and which question you should not do. So this analytical ability helps you a lot for choosing the questions. And also, this ability helps for the calculations point of view. Sometimes you find problems are very calculative, but if you put some observation, if you put some values, if you put some special values, so you get the answer. So this analytical ability is very important for this JEE Advanced exam. And similarly, we have the logical approach. So in this paper, you will find few questions which are based on the logical approach. And in fact, this section is a bit difficult in the exam, but logical approach will tell you that how to tackle conceptual problems in simplest way, and how to tackle conceptual problem in short way. And similarly, they ask visualization problems. And what visualization problems is, like they will give you some situation. In that situation, you visualize the graph, and you visualize the things, and then write the answer. Sometimes suppose they give the question related to area of the two curves, so you can just visualize which area is bigger and which area is smaller. Sometimes they give the situations related to common roots. Sometimes they give situations related to monotonicity. So in those questions, visualization matters a lot. And the last one is reading adoption. Reading adoption is very important to crack any exam, and this is also important for JEE Advanced exam. If you have practice for reading the things, then definitely you can do better in the exam. So for reading adoption, they give passage type of questions. They give some certain concept. You read that concept and you analyze the thing and you perform it and you write the answer. So this reading adoption is also important. Here, student, you can ask one question, sir. You are saying about theoretical problems, analytical ability, logical approach, visualization, and reading adoptions. So from where should I practice these questions? So actually, I have a book. I have written a book. This is Accelerator of JEE Advanced Mathematics. So in this book, I have covered all 5 sections. So you will get few questions based on the theory point of view. You will get questions based on analytical ability, logical approach, graphical analysis, and reading type of things. So this book will help you, and this book will help those students, those who have prepared JEE Advanced last 2 years, and they have good enough confidence and they are looking for rank improvement. If you are looking for good rank improvement, so my book help you a lot. But if you have just, I'm very sorry, if you have just cracked the JEE Advanced exam and you are in dilemma that where you should appear for JEE Advanced, where you should, this is difficult, you should try. So if you have some dilemma, so for those students, I have some different suggestions. So my suggestion is, if, if you have just cracked JEE Mains exam and you are thinking for JEE Advanced, so first you go for the revision of last 7 to 8 years previous 7 to 8 years PYQs. If you revise previous year questions and if you revise formulas and concepts, every year in JEE Advanced, concepts and formula matches. If you see the previous year paper, if you see 2015 paper, 2016 paper, you will get most of the common things in the new paper. And also, few students, they have facing difficulty that which particular topic should revise from which book. So my suggestion is, don't go for any new book. You just revise uh, important concepts, important topics from previous year questions. And suppose if you want to do the revision of determinant matrices and probability, because these two topics are very important, and IIT-JEE, they ask one question from these two topics from algebra. So if you revise these two topics from previous year questions, so definitely you can crack new questions. And similarly, in calculus, area under the curve and differential equation is a section where you will find so many previous year repetitive questions. So these two sections are also important, and you can revise these two sections from previous year questions. And similarly, in coordinate geometry, straight line and circles. If you see the pattern of straight line and circles, and if you find the pattern of these two topics, it is very common in all JEE Advanced exams. Most of the questions they ask locus, and the locus type of questions has very fixed pattern type of questions. So if you revise these two topics from uh, uh, previous year papers, so you will get edge of that. And then in trigonometry, most of the student, they ignore trigonometry because trigonometry, they think that it is very calculative, it is not important. Even sometimes they give uh, the questions from trigonometry in a high weightage marks section. So if you see inverse trigonometry and properties of triangles, so these two topics are very important, and you will get, if you see the last 5 to 6 years papers, so you will get these two topics in passage type of problems, yeah, MMCQ type of questions, and those questions are very heavy weightage. So I would strongly recommend you that trigonometry and properties of triangles, you seriously revise from the previous year questions. And then vectors and 3D. Vectors and 3D section is very simple section in JEE Advanced. In fact, JEE Mains as well as. In fact, the vectors and 3D का section मैंने अपने time में देखा था जब IIT और रुड़की का एग्जाम अलग होता था. तब उस टाइम रुड़की जो पेपर देता था वो काफी वेक्टर्स और 3D का काफी टफ क्वेश्चन देता था. और तब से मैंने अभी तक JEE एडवांस में डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस नहीं देखे हैं. तो आई थिंक वेक्टर्स एंड 3D is very simple section, and you can revise these two sections from your 12th standard book, or you can also do the revision from previous year questions. So this is the topic analysis related to JEE Advanced point of view. Now I am going to discuss about some statistic related to questions. So students, if you see the paper, in paper there are 63% questions, MCQ questions. They are very simple. And I have made this statistic based on last 10 years papers. And I collected all 10 years papers and checked that which type of questions which type of questions are doable and which type of questions are difficult in JEE Advanced exam. So in fact, in 2021, I had solved the paper and I had given the statistic also, and that helped a lot to the students. So similarly, I am following the same thing. 63% MCQ based questions are simple. So these are very doable questions. You can crack MCQ first in the paper. And similarly, passage type of questions are very simple. Why passage type of questions are very simple? Because you'll get lot of information in the passage. If you read the passage properly, so most of the things you will get in the passage. So passage type of questions are very simple. You should try those sections. And I have checked last 10 years papers. I found that 56% passage type of questions are doable. And then integer type of questions. Integer types of questions are very biased. Why it is biased? Because few questions they are very simple and few questions are very difficult. So in integer type of questions, you should very cautious that whether which type of question you should attempt and which type of question you should not attempt. So my suggestion is key integer type of questions. If you see that if you try those questions and spend 2 or 3 minutes, if you find that you are able to crack those questions, so you attempt it. Otherwise, you leave it. Then numerical type of problems. Numerical type of problems are basically dicey problems, because suppose in some question you are getting answer 7.568, and in some question you are getting 7.56 57. So basically, if you write the answer after decimal and if you make some mistake, so this is the chance that you will you will lose the marks. So numerical type of problems are mostly uh, they comes in difficult section. So I would recommend that you don't attempt these section in starting of the paper. Then matrix matching. Matrix matchings are generally simple in the exam, but if they are not one to many, if they are one to many, then it is difficult. So you should cautious about the instruction. Which type of questions they are, which type of instruction they are given related to matrix matching. Then MAMCQs. MAMCQs are very harsh. Why I'm saying this is harsh? Because if you see 2015 paper, so in 2015 paper, they basically gave MAMCQs and they have not given partial marking. So suppose in particular question, your answer is, the correct answer is ABC and you are clicking only A and B. So you will lose the mark. You will get -2. So in MAMC type questions, you just see the instruction, you just read the instruction. If it is given that partial marking is there, then you should attempt. Otherwise, if you are not 100% sure, you should not attempt this section in the beginning of the paper. So, and the next point is important topics. And important topics I had given in 4 sections. And So uh, why I have given in 4 sections? Because if you see JEE Advanced 2021 paper, so most of the questions came from integral and binomial theorem and probability. If you see 2016 paper, so most of the question came from differential calculus and conic section. So how you prepare for how should you revise entire syllabus in 15 days? So you don't revise the syllabus in topic wise, because if you revise the syllabus in topic wise, so you will face difficulty, because you will find that it is taking too much time, and unnecessary you will feel nervousness. So my recommendation is you revise unit wise. You take the revision of differential calculus and conic section all together, and do one question from each unit. So this will help you to toggling in these two sections, these two topics, because in JEE Advanced it is not necessary that you will get two consecutive questions from same topic. So this will help you to switching the concepts or switching the questions between these two units. And similarly, in second unit, I have taken vectors and 3D, then complex numbers and quadratic equation, determinant and matrices and sequence series. So I'm expecting one question from each section, like one question from vectors and 3D, one question from quadratic and complex number, and one question from determinant, matrices and sequence series. And similarly, in this section, I'm also expecting one question from one or two questions from integral calculus, and one question from binomial permutation combination and probability. Most of the students think that probability is very difficult and they don't attempt it. Students, in probability there are three sections. The first section is problem based on permutation combinations, and in IIT mostly they ask some general type of questions from this section. So if you have some logic, if you apply some basic things, so you can do that type of problems. And the next one is problem based on set theory, and set theory problems are very common and very simple questions. And if you do previous year questions, if you do previous year 8 to 10 questions, so you are able to crack new problems from probability set theory section. And the third one is Bayes theorem, and Bayes theorem is very important topic. And in this topic, basically if they ask the question from this topic, so they don't check your they don't check your calculation ability, they check how to read the paper, how you read the question. So my idea is if you read the question properly, and if you had practiced uh, uh, Bayes theorem problems from probability section, so definitely you can crack this problem. So don't leave this topic for this JEE Advanced exam, and definitely you will get one question from probability, and the probability of getting question from probability topic is very high. So I hope you should attempt this topic. And the last section is straight line and circles. Straight line and circles are very straightforward questions, and mostly questions are based on locus type of problems, and some straight formula based problems. So you can do these type of questions in the exam. And inverse trigonometry and triangle trigonometry, and this is very common. If you see last 5 years papers, so you will find very common questions. So I think that if you revise inverse trigonometry and triangle trigonometry from previous year questions, that will be enough to crack the questions in the exam. Now, here I am discussing about improving performance and problem solving skills, how to improve your performance. So first of all, you just start working on reading ability. If you are good in reading ability, so your time of attempting the problem will be less, and you can do more questions. So reading ability is the very important part, very important aspects of this JEE Advanced exam. And the second one is tackle multiple concepts problems sequentially. Suppose if you have some problem, because in JEE Advanced you will not get the question related to single concept. You will face problems based on multiple concepts. So how to tackle it? So you don't tackle all the problems, all the concepts all together. You tackle it one by one. Suppose In exam, there are few questions, uh, there are few question comes from this particular section. So you just solve those sections. Yeah, you solve those problems by attempting one by one concept. So this topic is this part is also important. Then the third point is thorough with previous year questions. Previous year questions will give you edge to attempt the paper because the style of IIT is fixed. So if you solve previous year problems, so definitely you will get to know which type of questions you may get in the next year paper. And the next one is toggling between the subjects. This is very important because most of the students, they don't practice for the toggling between the subjects. So my suggestion is you start solving the problems, like you start solving one question from physics, one question from mathematics, and one question from chemistry. And you do this and you do practice this, because this will help you a lot in the exam. And then next one is logically correct versus intuitive correct. So JEE advanced exam, uh, guesswork doesn't work. If you guess any question, it will not help you at all, because JEE committee, those who prepare the paper, they have two different committees. One committee, they make the questions, and second committee, uh, who set the options, and they set the options very smartly. If you guess it, you will get the wrong, you will lose the marks. So my suggestion is until unless you are not logically correct, don't take the answer, don't write the answer, and then develop visualization skills. This is very important in the examination. If you visualize the concepts, if you visualize the things, so definitely it will help you attempting new questions. And next important point is how to manage time in mathematics section. So this is a statistic given by my previous students and those who are successful in IIT-JEE Advanced, those who cracked in rank in JEE Advanced exams. So what they did in the exam, they saved 10 to 15 minutes from physics and chemistry section, and then remaining time they spend for mathematics, and then after mathematics they spend time for the reviewing of overall paper. And my strong suggestion to you that you attempt single correct questions and passage type of questions first, then you attempt numerical problems and MMCQ questions and one to many questions later. Now, then this is very important section I'm going to discuss, and please listen out very carefully, because this section will help you a lot to crack JEE Advanced exam, and this will also help you to boost up your rank. So this is for those all those students, those uh, who are aiming for good rank and those who are aiming for selection in IIT. So I have divided this section into 5 sections. 15 days before the exam, what should you do? And what should you do 3 days before the exam, 2 days before the exam, 1 day before the exam, and finality. So 15 days before the exam, suppose this is today's 12th, and you have almost 15 days, right? So what should you do before the exam? So you should uh, attempt at least 8 to 10 mock tests, minimum 10 mock tests. Why I'm saying 10 mock tests? 10 mock tests means 20 papers. Yeah, 16 papers. Why I'm saying? Because these papers will help you a lot to attempt to handle different situations, and also attempt these papers in like examination in atmosphere. Don't attempt these papers like you are sitting in on sofa, you are sitting on the bed. You just create an examination atmosphere at your home, and you attempt these questions, these papers. And also try to attempt these papers in the examination timing. Like suppose examination timing is 9 to 12, so you attempt paper 1 9 to 12, then 2 to 5. And in these mock tests, what you should do, you should follow a two-round strategy. And what is two-round strategy? For in first round, you just review the paper and identify which questions are easy, which questions are familiar, and which questions are strong uh, uh, topic questions, like strong topic questions means you are strong in those topics, and you solve those questions first. So, and suppose in these mock tests, if you are able to find out uh, only three questions, those are easy, familiar, and strong topic questions. So, in second time, when second time, if you revise, if you review the questions, those questions again, so you can easily crack 7 to 8 questions. So, first time you are getting three questions, second time you are getting 7 to 8 questions. So, total you are getting around 10 to 11 questions. So 10 to 11 questions are good enough to get good rank in IIT. And the next one is time distribution. So you just allocate the time, like in chemistry, you spend 45 minutes, physics, you spend 60 minutes, and rest of the time for mathematics and overall review. And you can change it. You can change it according to your subject preference. Suppose if you like mathematics, so you spend mathematics first, then you spend physics first, then you spend chemistry first. So you can start practicing subject wise. And then, in fact, in paper, in mock paper, if you find few questions which have no negative marking, you should attempt it. Because if you attempt those questions, so you will not get lose the mark. And in case if the questions are correct, so you will get benefit. Then in paper, suppose you have given 8 to 10 papers, then what conclusion you have got? Yeah, what you have got from those questions, and that means your strategy. And your strategy is very important, and you should finalize your strategy before the exam. So in those question paper, you just watch out subject wise biasness. You are not biased subject wise. Like what is the meaning of subject wise biasness? Because sorry, suppose you like chemistry most, right? And you are attempting most of the questions from chemistry, and you have spent 1.5 hours, and remaining 1.5 hours you have two big subjects, physics and mathematics. So in that case, what will happen that you will get good marks in chemistry. You may get reasonable enough marks in physics, but it may happen that you will lose cutoff in mathematics and you will lose the selection. So don't be biased for subject wise. You just focus in all three subjects, because JEE Advanced is a overall exam for all three subjects. So you should maintain the equilibrium between physics, chemistry, and mathematics. And the second one, next point is, you watch out the ratio of attempts in easy, medium, and difficult. So in these sections, you find that which type of questions are easy, which type of questions are difficult for you, and which type of questions are medium. So if you are finding the section, easy sections and medium sections, so you will be more comfortable. And I'm just giving you the statistic that any paper, if you see any JEE advanced paper, one third section is very simple, one third section is medium, and last one third section is very difficult. So if you get the marks in two-thirds of two-third section, so definitely will get good rank also. And the next point is, watch out for the number of overtimes of incorrect questions. Sometimes you spend time in those questions which, after solving those questions, you get incorrect mark, right? So suppose if you spend some time, if you spend 5 minutes for particular area under the curve question, and you got some answer, but that answer is not correct. So ultimately, you wasted your time and you got the negative marking also. So this is very important that in these 8 mock tests, you must watch out you are not wasting your time in some certain questions where you are not getting the marks. And next point is speed versus accuracy balance. So In fact, this is very important proverb that speed and accuracy are very, they are not proportional. Speed is high, accuracy is less. Accuracy is high, speed is less. But you have to balance it, because JEE Advanced exam is the balancing between your speed and accuracy. So this section, speed versus accuracy section, you will get proper balancing when you will attempt at least 8 to 10 mock tests. Now the next point is
Considering the time, questions are actually flooding in. So I was thinking that we should start answering few questions. Then you can
perfect,
continue your presentations.
perfect. Super.
Okay, sir.
Mhm.
So the first question has been asked by Kalpesh and Sanju. They both are asking, can JEE Advanced be cracked by a student who score only eligibility percentile in JEE mains?
Yes, you can. There are many cases. In fact, I found many cases that who got uh, who got 70,000 rank, who got very less rank, and they have cracked the exam. JEE Advanced exam is very subjective exam. It is very different exam. This exam is based on your IQ level, right? So it's very simple. JEE, there is no relation between JEE mains and JEE Advanced exam, right? So if you have ability, if you have proper planning, so definitely you can crack JEE Advanced exam. So it's not much difficult.
Next up, Mohammad Shahbaz has a question. He cleared 10th from Jharkhand Academic Counseling Board in Hindi medium, but
Mhm,
now he is pursuing 11th from CBSE board and he is also preparing for IIT-JEE,
mhm.
but he is not able to understand mathematics, maybe because of the language change. So, any guidance to that child?
Yeah, actually, language doesn't matter. Science के लिए science का language mathematics है, right? And you are learning science. So for science, the like language doesn't matter. So in initial time, you may face some problems related to words. Like in Hindi medium, they use sine theta for ja and cos theta for koja. But if you start learning in English, so definitely you will pick up the word and you will start learning in English also. So it's not much difficult.
Okay. So the next question has been asked by a student and he's asking what should be the ideal time distribution for math section in JEE Advanced. Though, sir, you have explained it, but maybe you can add a different angle to it.
So actually, in math section, you should spend more than 1 hour 5 minutes, yeah, 1 hour 7 minutes. Why I'm saying, because I have spoken previous year students, so it's very difficult to complete the paper in one hour, because the paper is maths paper is really lengthy paper. So if you spare some times from chemistry and physics, so you can add those time in math section, and it will be easy if you spend time, if you give like 65 to 70 minutes for mathematics, so easily you can attempt full paper.
Thank you, sir. Sir, sometimes back you had talked about the reading habit and visualization skill, and this question is related to that only. Student is asking how I can enhance my reading habit and visualization skill.
For reading habit, you just read the question properly. Whatever question, suppose in quadratic equation, yeah, in complex numbers, yeah, in probability, so you just read full question and you try to understand what is asked in the question, right? So every question is three section, like what, why, and how, right? So if you know the proper what, so you can go further, like you can go further for why and how. And this is the complete preparation. If you prepare for any exam, if you prepare for JEE Advanced exam, and if you know what, why and how, so you can do every problems. Because what के बाद में why का मतलब होता है कि ये क्यों हमें करना है, और how का मतलब ये कैसे करना है. तो जब आपको what नहीं पता होगा, तो आप how और why की हम बात ही नहीं कर सकते. तो रीडिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड रीडिंग के साथ साथ क्या है कि आप रीडिंग को थोड़ा विजुअलाइजेशन में लेके आओ, और इसको स्टेप बाय स्टेप रखो, कि पहले फर्स्ट लाइन आपने रीड किया, इसको विजुअलाइज करो कि क्या पूछा गया है और हमें इसमें क्या आता है. नेक्स्ट फिर आप नेक्स्ट लाइन को देखो, उसमें क्या पूछा गया है, क्या आता है. फिर नेक्स्ट लाइन देखो, उसमें क्या पूछा गया है, क्या आता है. और उसके बाद में ओवरऑल उसका सम करो कि आपको टोटल फाइंड आउट क्या करना है और क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन गिवन.
Okay, so thank you so much for answering the questions. Now we can proceed with knowing the secrecy, what to do in 3 days mock exam. Yeah.
Okay, so basically the important point is I am very bad actually. मेरा water intake बहुत होता है. So I was discussing about strategy 3 days before the strategy. Actually, Shilpa, why I'm discussing this thing, because most of the students, they miss these things, and due to these important factors, they know the subject, they are intelligent, but they are not able to good rank. So if you are not systematic, if you are not if you have no planning, so it's difficult to get good rank. So I'm just discussing about the what you should do 3 days before the exam. So basically, 3 days before the exam, you just simply review the concepts, whatever concepts you have learned in mathematics, yeah, physics and chemistry. Just revise it. Just review that. If this is the organic chemistry reaction, this is Kenizato reaction, this is integral formula, this is this formula, this formula. Don't try new thing. Don't try new concept. Whatever you have done, just revise it. That's it. And why I'm saying this, don't try new concepts, because if you see JEE Advanced chapters, so there are 100 plus chapters, and out of 100 plus chapters, 200 plus concepts, and 2000 plus concepts, and 4000 plus sub concepts, and it is difficult to revise everything in 1 or 2 days. So that will give you like a lot of frustration. So my simple understanding is that you don't go for new concepts. Whatever you have learned so far, you just review that. And the next point is you need to consolidate and focus on your strength. Whatever you have learned, आप उसी पे फोकस करो कि बस आपने जो कॉन्सेप्ट आपको आता है बस वही स्ट्रांग होगा, वही एग्जाम में आएगा. एंड बी पॉजिटिव. जो नहीं आता है आप उसको बोलो कि ये कॉन्सेप्ट एग्जाम में नहीं आएगा, मतलब दिस इज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर मी, राइट. सो थोड़ा सा पॉजिटिवनेस लाओगे, देन यू विल गेट मोर कॉन्फिडेंट. एंड द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज what you should do 2 days before the exam. And 2 days before the exam is very important, because here we follow bow and arrow strategy. It means like जब आप धनुष बाण को चलाते हो, तो जितना आप उसको पुल बैक करते हो, उतना ही बाण जो है वो एरो जो है उतना आगे जाता है. तो इस दिन ऑन सेकेंड डे यू जस्ट रिलैक्स इट, बिकॉज आपने 15 डेज या 2 years काफी हार्ड वर्क किया है. आज के दिन आपको रिलैक्स करना है. जितना अच्छे से रिलैक्स करोगे, उतना ही अच्छे से आप परफॉर्म करोगे, उतना ही बेस्ट वे से यू विल परफॉर्म इन द एग्जाम. सो ऑन दिस डे यू डोंट ट्राई एनीथिंग, you don't even touch the book, you just relax it, watch the TV, you just discuss general things with the family. That's it. And this is the finality, one day before the exam. And one day before the exam is like very crucial day. Very like sometimes most of the student feel that, oh my god, कल एग्जाम है, बहुत डिफिकल्ट होगा. So आपको क्या करना चाहिए वन डे बिफोर द एग्जाम, क्या करना चाहिए? तो इसके लिए मैं एक विजुअलाइजेशन टेक्निक बताऊंगा, और इसको काफी लोग यूज करते हैं, स्पोर्ट्समैन, आर्टिस्ट, जितने भी सक्सेसफुल परफॉर्मर हैं, दे यूज दिस टेक्निक. एंड विजुअलाइजेशन टेक्निक इज you just imagine that tomorrow is your exam, you are going for the exam, you are sitting on the examination hall, you got the paper, you got the questions, and you got multiple choice questions, you got single correct questions, and you are enjoying the subject. So you just visualize everything, so that will come in your mind, and that will help you a lot, and that will help you a lot in for gaining the confidence also. So one day before you just visualize it कि बस कल पेपर हो रहा है, और हम जो है आज बैठे हैं और आज ही हम पेपर को विजुलाइज कर रहे हैं। तो आपको पेपर वाले दिन नर्वसनेस नहीं होगी, एग्जामिनेशन वाले दिन नर्वसनेस नहीं होगी। यू विल फील दैट कि हाँ, ये तो, इस चीज से तो मैं पास हुआ हूँ, ये तो चीज जो है, ये जो पार्ट है, ये तो मेरे माइंड में ऑलरेडी है। सो यू विल नॉट nervous in the paper. Then if you are not nervous in the paper, so definitely you will perform better. And the next one is finale day, and this is most like it is like this is the, ये दिन जो है ये 2 साल की तपस्या वाला दिन है कि आपने 2 साल हार्डवर्क किया और आज वो दिन आ गया. So in on this day, I strongly recommend that don't reach examination hall late. I tell everyone, आप 1 घंटे 30 मिनट आप पहले पहुंचो, बट एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में आपको पहले पहुंचना है. Second one is don't attempt math section first. Why? Because if you attempt math section first, so math section is basically calculative section, and unnecessary you will lose time. So you try math section, yeah, you attempt math section at second place or third place. And the third one is don't guess randomly, or guess when you eliminate option significantly. So if you suppose in multiple choice questions, and if you are able to eliminate 2 options out of 4, then you should try, otherwise you should not try. And then follow 2 round strategy we had already discussed. Then don't attempt MCQs, one to many questions in round 1, keep it for the round 2. And don't attempt numerical questions when accuracy of 2 decimal places expected. If uh, it is only integer type of questions, you should attempt, otherwise be careful about it. And don't expect more than 6 minutes, don't waste more than 6 minutes in particular question. If you are getting 5 minutes, yeah, more than 5 minutes in particular question, so leave that question, you try it later, and you attempt next question. And the last point is, this is very important point, you don't discuss paper 1 with anyone. Suppose you have done paper 1, and you are after paper 1 you are preparing for paper 2. So don't discuss paper 1 कैसा भी गया paper, don't bother for that. Paper 1 अच्छा भी होगा कैसा भी होगा, it doesn't matter, you focus for the next paper, right? So my overall saying is, keep do all your effort and convert your rank to the seat. And if you are able to convert your rank to the seat, so definitely in next 3 to 4 months, after 3 to 4 months, you will get good college. So students, I have taken you through from 15 days to till examination day, and now I am telling you about which engineering colleges you should choose, which branch you should choose. And why I'm telling you, because most of the students, they got rank in JEE Mains, and they have question in their mind, which college should I go, yeah, which college is better. So I am just giving you the idea about it, and this is just a rough idea, and because it depends upon your choice and the college rank, and uh, in that year what percentage of cutoff. So I'm just giving you the idea about which college and which branch is suitable. So the first of all, uh, you just find out what you wish to do immediately after graduation. आपको इंजीनियरिंग करने के बाद में क्या करना चाह रहे हो? आप you want to do job, you want to pursue MS in US, or you want to pursue MTech then job, या you want MS or MTech then PhD, या you want to pursue MBA, या you want to pursue civil services via UPSC or startup. So if you are decided for that, then think about few important things. If you want to pursue job or MS MTech or research, then branch must be given higher preference than college. Suppose if you are getting rank in BITS Pilani, and at the same time you got rank in IIT, But in IIT, you are getting IIT Guwahati, some lower branch, and BITS Pilani computer science. So I would say that you go for BITS Pilani because that will that will give you more advantage as compared to IIT Guwahati. And if you are aiming for MBA, civil services, entrepreneurship, then college preference is best. Suppose if you are getting lower rank in IIT Bombay and and uh, yeah, lower branch in IIT Bombay and better branch in local colleges. So I would say that you go for the IIT Bombay because that will help you to make a profile for MBA and civil service and entrepreneurship. And the next point is if we see the hierarchy of preference of engineering colleges. So IITs, all 8 IITs on top, then BITS, then IITs, rest of 15 IITs, then top 10 NITs, then 5 triple ITs, then Manipal, then BIT Vellore, SRM, then other NPA colleges, and remaining NIT and IITs, and A grade state colleges. So most of the state have colleges on state level, and they are also good sometimes. So you can think about those colleges. And the next point is, suppose if you see J syllabus and you are in 11th and you want to think about which career you want to pursue. So you just see the JEE syllabus and you love permutation combination, yeah, probability, yeah, set theory. So I would say that you choose computer science, yeah, IT as your branch. If you like mechanics, heat, yeah, fluid mechanics, then you should opt mechanical engineering or chemical engineering or civil engineering. And if you like electrical circuits, the theory of electromagnetism, yeah, yeah, related to modern physics, then you should opt electrical, yeah, electronics, yeah, instrumentation, or telecommunication engineering. And if you are like you have interest in bio, like if you have taken physics, chemistry, maths, and bio in 12th, 11th, so you can go for biotechnology, genetics engineering, and food and agriculture engineering. And these branches are very booming in nowadays. So you can opt for those branches. And if you are passionate about the research, if you like physics, if you like mathematics, if you like teaching uh, something, so then you should go pure sciences. Otherwise, you should not go for pure sciences. Most of the students, they opt pure sciences, but they are not fit for that. So after some time they feel like कि ये हमने क्या कर दिया, तो वहां पर आपको frustration होगा. तो it's very you should very clear that कि if you like only one subject, mathematics, and you want to do something in mathematics, then you opt pure sciences. Otherwise, you don't attempt go for the pure sciences. And the next one is suppose uh, whatever come mind, like there are so many new branches are coming, but my strong recommendation is you opt main branches. Yeah, you opt like जो uh, important branches हैं, जो टॉप ब्रांचेज हैं, आपको वो ब्रांचेज ऑप्ट करनी चाहिए. जैसे कंप्यूटर साइंस, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, मैकेनिकल, and these three are like evergreen branches. So you should try to opt any one of these three branches. And similarly, if you see aerospace engineering, yeah, other similar type of engineering, so they are basically combination of three fundamental branches. So this can be you can opt it, but try to avoid uh, secondary branches of engineering. You go for the primary branches. And then uh, so this is done from my side, students, and wish you all the best from my side. And just this is open question session. If you have any doubt, you can free to ask.
Sure, sir. There are so many questions the students wants to ask you.
Yeah.
But before that, I'll give you a break for a while. Okay. So, as sir has talked about that, you have to attempt at least 10 mocks or PYQs. So I'm sharing a link in the chat box. You can have a look at it. because this is a link to the mock test paper. And the next up, we have a question from a student, sir. He has qualified for the advanced exam, but facing problem in attempting advanced level mathematics problem. Can you
Okay.
please give some tips so that he can at least score 40% in mathematics?
Yeah, because in math section, one third section is very simple, right? So if you see the problems from trigonometry section, if you see the problems from straight line and circle, and problems from determinant and matrices, so you should revise these topics from previous year questions. So definitely you can crack math section. So easily you can crack math section.
So considering the time we are left with, I'm going to launch a poll here so that we can understand whether you like this webinar or not. For you, I'll explain what this poll consists. This consists the question 1, you can answer it in a yes or a no. And the question 2 will consist ranking from 1 to 10. If you liked this session, you can mark it 10 because 10 is being the highest and 0 is being the less likely. And meanwhile, sir, I'll take up more questions. So
Okay.
the next up, we have a question, what to do in between the period of paper 1 and 2 for maintaining energy?
This is this is very important question. In fact, uh, uh, most of the students they don't have planning for this. So my suggestion is कि आपको जो जो एग्जामिनेशन हॉल है उसके आसपास आप कहीं अपने आप को ऐसे स्टेशन करो कि आप 15 to 20 मिनट का एक प्रॉपर नैप ले लो और रिलैक्स करो. डोंट थिंक अबाउट द वट एवर यू डिड इन द प्रीवियस पेपर. You just think about this is the new exam and paper 2 is a new exam and you save energy for that. क्योंकि most of the student का paper 2 खराब रहता है, paper 1 अच्छा रहता है क्योंकि वो paper 2 में फटीक हो जाते हैं, थक जाते हैं, अपने आप को पजल कर लेते हैं, तो वो आपको नहीं करना है. और don't try to go home after paper 1 then come for the paper 2. कोई जर्नी से रिलेटेड आपको कुछ भी नहीं करना है. आप वहीं कहीं आसपास कोई प्लेस देखो और वहीं आपस आसपास जो है आप रिलैक्स करो. तो पेपर 2 से पहले रिलैक्सेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्यों? क्योंकि ये जो 3 आवर्स का पेपर होगा ये आपका पूरा एनर्जी लेगा. उसके लिए आपके पास पूरी एनर्जी होनी चाहिए.
Thank you, sir, for answering that question. So the next question we have from a student, and he's asking, sir, is it possible to start mathematics from scratch for JEE Advanced to score a percentage of 30 to 40% at this time?
That you can do, but if you have done good mathematics of JEE mains level, if you know good mathematics of JEE mains level, then you can do. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. So if you if you want to start mathematics from scratch, so I would recommend few topics, like you go for determinant matrices in algebra, you go for vectors and 3D, you go for integral calculus, and you go for coordinate geometry, especially straight line and circles. So if you do these sections well, if you if you are able to solve the problems from these sections, so definitely you will get many questions in the exam.
Sir, the next I'll take up question people have asked on our portal. So the one question has been asked by Kalpesh Chaudhary, and he has asked how can he overcome few problems that he faced in JEE mains preparation, like being consistent.
So consistency is like consistency that you maintain through the papers. If you do more papers, more if you solve more mock papers, mock tests, so you will get the idea, because this part is very it matters individual student. So that for that you have to make your strategy, own strategy, and that you will get after if you attempt more questions, right? So consistency part वो आपको अपने आप ही डेवलप करना है और वो एग्जाम के पेपर से आप डेवलप कर पाओगे, अदरवाइज नहीं होगा.
And with this, sir, if any concluding words, any motivating words to the students attempting JEE?
So I would say that this exam is really amazing exam, and this is like it's a 28th August is a festive day. Like it is like very amazing day. So you should you should focus on that day as a goal. जैसे अर्जुन ने अपना एक गोल बनाया था, तो आपको वो चिड़िया की आंख दिखनी चाहिए, and you just start working it, start hard working it, make planning, lot of planning, strategy, and implement it. So wish you all the best from my side and good luck.
Thank you, sir. The few questions the students are asking, these are repetitive, and sir has already answered similar questions at length. So we shall actually upload this video on our Shiksha YouTube channel in 1 or 2 days, so you can have a look at it there. And the link to the YouTube channel I'm writing in the chat box. You can have a look at it. And let's summarize what we learned today. So today we understood about the IIT-JEE Advanced exam pattern and paper, books and study material, important topics, improving performance and problem solving skill, about the time management, last minute do's and don'ts, what to do in few days before the exam, and how to choose college and branch. And of course, we answered several doubts of yours. And thank you so much, sir, for guiding us. I hope students will now face JEE Advanced with right strategy and fearlessly.
Thank you so much, Shilpa. Thanks a lot.
Thank you to all of you for being the part of this session. With this, I'm Shilpa signing off. Till then, take care and keep checking our portal for the next webinar. Thank you all.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel.